Hi, if you are new here, I'm Kaneti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch 19th episode of anime Steins Gate Zero, so let's get to it. Let's go. Go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's all that there was. Well, actually, I didn't really pay much attention to what was happening with all the armed forces, but it felt like there were two fractions there. So I guess we would assume maybe Americans and Russians, generalizing here. So the ones who would actually destroy the time machine obviously would not be the American faction that is kind of led or assisted by our Professor Leskinen. That would be more logically the Russian faction that doesn't want Americans to get the time machine. So that's what I would assume. And then, of course, this was reported as a terrorist attack. But it would mean that the time machine that the American faction could get their hands onto was destroyed. And in this case, there's no other choice for them to again try to extract the information about how to build time machine and create it themselves. And in this case, how will this situation escalate to war? I assume even if the timeline has shifted, there's still this war in the future. Don't remember if this sequence, them facing each other, was here before. Um, yeah. So yeah, they all assume that they were just destroyed here in the time machine. It was already shimmering though. Aren't they being a bit too pessimistic? Yeah, she still feels very unsure of herself, her abilities. Darwin Steins gets zero is like always putting everyone in their places. So yeah, I assume the message from Mayusha was still like from before the scene on the roof. He just didn't notice it before. Some newfound resolve. I like how it's not only because of the situation, but because he saw Maha found in her resolve that he got himself together. That's really nice. Mr. Brown? That's sudden. Because of the attacks. Okay, not sudden. That's fair. Nah, cute as usual. Oh. Yeah, that's how it usually is. You feel like nothing bad will happen to you personally. Nothing bad will happen right now. It might happen somewhere in the future. Like, that's normal thinking for people. Okay, so they didn't find. That's an interesting piece of information. So there weren't like body remains, but at the same time, there were a lot of dead soldiers. Were they not found? Also, so everything disintegrated. Oh, it's just like Mayushi said, like everyone should work on reaching Steins Gate. Oh, looks tasty. I would love to eat some onigiri that Rukaka has made. Not fast enough. Okay, what's his opinion? The optimistic one, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I still remember this scary green slime fingers. Yeah, she has this. How do they say it? Like, she doesn't value herself enough, right? That's an interesting way to put it. Oh. Mastahaka. Okay, the music is becoming more like optimistic also. And inspiring. That's honestly pretty sweet. Okay, so we are now in active phase of trying to do something to her hair looks even reddish in this light. I'm sure it's not coincidental also. Yeah. I mean, as a way of kind of parallel here, you know? And also showing that she's kind of doing this same work in a sense, so. And she seems to have completed it, yeah. I, to be honest, I also do miss Carissa. I liked her a lot. And I guess here is applied again that Maha has some romantic feelings towards Okarin. Actually, I kind of like this. That here everyone is kind of in on it and working on it together. That's sweet. Unlike the original Steins Gate, where he mostly was alone and then also with Carissa. Oh, that's cute. La remember. And Kagari. Oh. Hmm. But Kagari makes me think. I wonder if we actually like went in the Steins Gate world line, for example. Does Kagari even exist? Even the style looked different for a second. Wait. Um, um, what date was it though? I'm bad with that. Yeah, here we go again. So we are at this point. Okay. Okay, so he is going there. Well, last time we had to do it many times, so I have hard time believing that this one will be done in like one try. Yeah, without saying any spoilers, some certain character from another anime would say that it's a paradise when you know what will happen in the future. So I liked how he said here that it's nightmare. I agree with him more with the nightmare. Maybe he shouldn't like stop them then. Maybe they should go in the time machine and try. Or he should go himself. What's his plan? Now we are just losing time. Yeah, I agree. Like, what's the idea? Just like Mayushi said. So work on that ocarina, so to say. That's the idea. She's so sweet. Is this not Kagari? But this event would still happen. I mean, where one woman in a helmet kills another woman in a helmet. We didn't do anything to change that. Yeah, so that's her. That that is Kagari. Oh, Judy. Yeah, as I thought. Okay, we talked about it also, and we did get a hint with her hiding a wound too. I'm glad it is confirmed now, and I don't have to think on Suzuka's mom anymore. But why everything happened like so much faster this time? The events otherwise should have all been the same. Why it's kind of sped up? It's not how it happened last time. And he also took their precious time. Like, if he didn't come here and talk to them and try to kind of discuss something with them, they would have already left. Okay. Something that will happen. Okay, like with Mayushi's death. So it has to be inevitable because it was destroyed in the future. This time they kind of made it fast. Yeah, actually, that's quite like, yeah, with how it was with Kurisu. He kept kind of going there and asking for her help, and now it's the same with Maha. There's some interesting parallels here. We are going back to ending again. Vibration, unreachable emotion. Amadeus, I'm waiting for your call. Yeah, it seems like as if all layered. It's a multitude, the world in the world. That's interesting. Time is irreversible, and yet those unknown sectors fly past, flash forward. Why? Vision of a kiss. So incredibly close. An outrageous distance. Overlapping logos infinite 0 or 1. I'm right here. And we. This is interesting because I'm still wondering how it will end. We had romantic love line, so to say, with Kurisu is in original Steins Gate. And we had a lot of interesting parallels between Kurisu and Maha here. But obviously, like, still, the one Ocarina is in love with is Kurisu. I assume it's not going to change. And Steins Gate is still the best road line. Okay. Is this August 7th? And now the huge crack on it. Okay, that's interesting. Now it's definitely a preview of the next episode. Um, that was an interesting scene in the end. Now we went. Wait, August is actually an 8th month. So what it was 7-6. It's just also the order is different. It even starts with a year. That's for me strange. For me, the normal order is day, month, and this then year. So how they show it here, it is always confusing to me, and I'm not sure which number is the month and which number is the day, especially if it's in the 12s, right? You would understand that it's probably like where the month and where the day is if you get something like 25 or 17, right? But in this case, we were in August, and there it's 7 or 6. Where is it? 7 is like July? Right? Okay, I'm not very good with this at all. Let's scratch this discussion. So in any case, yeah, we are back into this again, going in back in time and trying to fix things and seeing everything go like the same again, like with Mayushi's death. She was dying inevitably, but there we kind of found a solution to undo all the demails, and that's the route we went with. But in this case, if the time machine being destroyed is something that will inevitably happen, then, like, no matter what small changes we do, what should we do then to create some major changes? So we would completely shift the world line like we did with undoing the demails, and then somehow yeah, the idea here, I guess, is the same of going back to that day, to the ending of the original Steins Gate, and actually making Ocarina go and try for the Steins Gate world line. But yeah, and also I wanted to note was a reveal that another woman is in the suit was Judy Reyes. The only thing I was confused about, wasn't it Professor Leskinen who shot her? Why? For what reason? Um, Let me just think about it. Wasn't she the one who would be kind on his side, right? As far as I remember her actions. She was always, yes, she wanted like the laptop and Kagari, and I thought, yeah, that kind of alliance with him, with what he wants, information of time machine, so they could get it. Then though, oh no, wasn't she also the one who destroyed the laptop in that? No, no, that was another people showed up and destroyed it. She wanted it to be handed over, but it seemed like actually he was the one to shoot Judy for some reason. I mean, he didn't show any hesitation in shooting like Kagari, for example. So it's normal for him to dispose of people who are kind of connected to him and help him. But I'm just not sure what the motivation was here with Judy. In any case, yeah, I think she was hinted at, even when I decided that heels are not a sufficient hint. Uh, Even like there was this moment in the very beginning where there was an emphasis on the heels, right? When Maha met Judy for the first time, the way it happened was also quite suspicious because Maha felt like someone is following her. She was scared, and we had this tension build up. Then we heard a sound of heels, and then kind of this release. Oh, it's someone she knows, someone who is not dangerous. But the overall feeling still stays. You're thinking, oh, but why was it framed like that? And there was an emphasis on the heels. And then when the woman in the helmet comes, she also is on these heels. But then, obviously, when we met Kagari, and there was also this red herring with Suzuha's mom, with her very similar like wounds. And I think the moment where the anime tried to explain us that it is a red herring was when she bumped into the glass doors after her meeting with her girlfriends, and they were mentioning like, oh, she's always so like clumsy. So I think that was an explanation on Suzuha's mom, that she's just very clumsy and it was an accident, that the wounds, physical traumas were appearing the same to what this woman in the helmet has suffered. And then in the plane, when Judy was leaving with Professor Leskinen, she was hiding her arm where another wound was supposed to be, so that was also a huge hint. So again, not surprised to see her there, just surprised with some other things, because okay, maybe again I misunderstood something, but I think that would be actually no wait one moment I don't remember if I had time to talk about it during the episode. If we go, no, I think I had, like, if Kagari was created based on Amadeus, but we go back and go to Steins Gate line, where Amadeus is probably like not created at all, because Kurisu is alive and events are very different, and in Steins Gate line it is implied that everything is peaceful and fine and dandy rainbows and sunshine. And then if Kagari was this Amadeus come to life? Does she even exist, or was she an actual child that was born, not like made into laboratory? But and her visual likeness to Kurisu is more like for the viewer, more like to give us hints, and she was actually just a child that was born, and then in her brain this Amadeus system was installed, and that's why even Leskinen himself called it brainwashing. I guess then Kagari would still be born in the future, but she maybe would even have like a better life. Maybe her parents would still be alive. Maybe she won't meet Mayushi. but still live a nice and happy life, and she would exist. So it's just because Ocarina was saying I will save like everyone and Kagari, and I was thinking like, oh, but if we go to Steins Gate, will Kagari even exist? Like, how would it be? Yeah, and with that, I think that's it for my thoughts on this episode. So please share yours, as usual, without spoilers, of course, in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and see ya.